Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled Earthset from Orion. So what do we see here? Well, here we see the Orion spacecraft, and it is part of the Artemis I mission. Now, that took place back in 2022 in November and sent a spacecraft around the moon. And this was actually a test for a future human landing on the moon. And this was the first mission in a series of 3 to bring humans back to the moon. Now here we see the spacecraft off to the left-hand side, and this made the greatest distance for a craft intended for humans from our Earth, about 400,000 kilometers. That record had previously been held by the Apollo 13 mission, which looped around the moon after an accident occurred, and that went a little further away than many of the other Apollo missions. Now here we see the craft, and again to the right-hand side we see the larger object is our moon, very washed out in this image, so you can make out some of the surface features there and some cratering, although it's very hard to see too much detail in it in this case. But off over the limb, you can see off in the distance there toward the bottom of the image, our own Earth out in the distance. And this would have been Earthset. As the craft moved around a little while later, Earth would have disappeared or set behind the limb of the moon. Now that is a view that very few humans have seen live. And in fact, only those Apollo astronauts to this day are the ones who have actually been able to see this view directly. Of course, others have seen images or video of something similar, but this is really those are the only people who have ever seen this directly. But that will not remain the same for long, as the Artemis II mission is scheduled for the next couple of weeks, could actually launch as early as February 6th if all goes well, just a couple of weeks away, and that will send astronauts back around the moon again. So it is going to be very similar to one of the earlier Apollo missions, where astronauts were just sent around the moon as a test for the future landing. And that's what we're doing here. The very first mission in the Artemis series sends the craft around the moon without any humans on board. The second one will send 4 astronauts around the moon, but not landing on the moon. And then the third one, scheduled for a couple of years after, if all goes well, will actually land humans on the moon for the first time since December of 1972. So here we get to see a little bit of that test, and we look forward to the Artemis II mission, hopefully launching in just a couple of weeks now, and bringing humans back close to our moon again. So that was our picture of the day, titled Earthset from Orion. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Doomed Moon. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.